I'm just, maybe for people that are coming in, I don't know, with Rob. I mean, what was happening, what was the reason, and there's no reason. And I get it. Excuses are a fine thing, but I have to repeat it. I mean, look, I mean, this team's supposed to be nowhere. I mean, Ten Hag comes in and what he does. I mean, guys. I mean, no Lisandro Martinez. These are the reasons why they couldn't cope with a very, very good team like Sevilla at a place like this, because they were overwhelmed. So, I mean, two center backs of the highest quality are not there. Bruno Fernandes, who's obviously an incredible player that this United team can't function without. You have Rashford, who's in form, who's on the bench. You have Sabitzer, that zero chance that he was 100%, right? I mean, there's a reason he came off or didn't even go on the pitch. I'm looking, who else? McTominay, who's, he would be an option, Garnacho, whatever. You just can't. Those are real reasons. As I said, that midfield, if you look at it, was overwhelmed simply because they weren't 100% either. I mean, you look at Ericsson, who's just coming back, and with this sort of intensity, you can function. You have Casemiro, who kind of played 2 games, but missed for a couple of suspensions, suspended again, although they didn't advance, right? Who else was in that midfield that escapes me at the moment? Well, in Sabitzer, as I mentioned. So I think those are the reasons. I mean, this is Sevilla. This is late stages. And, to say that Manchester United, because they're Manchester United, should be doing something special, I don't buy it. This is just a very good team dealing with a Manchester United team who are just missing 6, 7 guys. And no team can cope with that. I really don't think so, given the mistakes. The tie was lost in the first leg, where and by the way, just quickly, and Rob, because I don't know if these are rumors, you're much closer. I think if anything, this show all the rumors and all that Ten Hag might be thinking about, because we're talking De Gea, should we sign him or not? Possibly 3 goals with him. We could argue on all 3 goals he had something to do, right? Wan-Bissaka, who's been better. But you could see, I mean, you have to switch Dalot in the first half to the right-hand side because Acuna, and Lamela were doing everything else. So all the Martial, as always, we get excited with one game. And by the way, I think he came off injured. I don't know if he's going to be playing against Brighton. So, if you thought that, you're going to get 1 game out of 25 out of Martial, that's good. So I think Ten Hag was telegraphing that. And I think everybody understood what this team needs and who needs to go and who absolutely has to be there for Manchester United to be in conversation that they're in. That's the way I see it.
Rob, Janusz has provided a case for the defence. He's provided a lot of excuses for Manchester United and why they produced that performance. He's taken the kind of softly approach. What do you think the English media, the journalists, the back pages on Friday morning will do? I don't think they'll be as soft as that.
No, it will be scathing, and they were the conversations that were being had in the press box as we watch it all unfold. I mean, Janusz is right. There are mitigating circumstances to this. Lisandro Martinez, Rafael Varane, Bruno Fernandes are 3 of United's key players. Historically, United do not play well when Bruno Fernandes isn't playing, and he was suspended tonight. I still think, though, that given the season that Sevilla are having, the fact that they turned up to Old Trafford and basically had their mind on other things last week. Their coach turned up to Old Trafford last week and said, ultimately, that we need to make sure that we are safe from relegation in Spain. We're going to make changes, and this isn't our priority. It looks like Sevilla have prioritised the Europa League for the final 15 minutes at Old Trafford, and then this game tonight, and have still managed to go through. My personal opinion is, even if you take Martinez, Varane, and Fernandes out of this team, that United should still expect to do enough to go through. And not only did they not do anywhere near enough to go through, they never looked like going through. They were played off the park, really. And it wasn't just in terms of the football they were playing. They were out for. Sevilla were more aggressive. They were more energetic. You could possibly argue that United have had a very, very hectic schedule. They've been in 4 competitions for most of the season. Most of the players have had a World Cup to deal with. That kind of thing catches up with you. We've mentioned the injuries as well. These are all things that they are having to deal with. I just think that when Erik ten Hag gets in his press conference, he won't be looking for those kind of excuses. He will be very, very disappointed with the performance, because I really don't think it's a case of they've lined up against a severe team and they've just lost a game of football. These things happen in football. Teams lose games all the time. I think that really they can only really have themselves to blame. That they should have had enough on the field to get the job done tonight.
We'll do about another 5 minutes because I know you want to go and hear the Ten Hag press conference. And thanks for taking time out post-game to join us, Rob. We'll get back with you just in a second. But Janusz, how does Erik ten Hag pick his players up to face Brighton in less than 72 hours in the FA Cup semi-final?
Well, yeah, it's not going to be easy, that's for sure. I think the goal is top four, always has been. We've been talking about this possibility of a treble simply because we had to backpedal, all of us now. Yeah, Erik ten Hag is going to be disappointed. Yes, journalists will say the things that they need to say. The three players plus Rashford plus Luke Shaw who weren't there. If those players are a little bit closer and you're going to get Rashford and Luke Shaw now, and you're going to get Bruno Fernandes, that's obviously a different team facing Brighton, who themselves are, in great form. And in Premier League, who knows? In the end, they may be fighting for top four. I mean, stranger things have happened. So this is not going to be easy. And if they go out, I'm sure there's going to be even more criticism. I just want to make sure that everybody understands where Manchester United were ahead of this season, right? They were the Chelsea of this, of this season. They were the Arsenal of a couple of weeks ago. They couldn't find any way to get going, and nobody thought that we could be here talking and now asking Manchester United all of a sudden to play at Sevilla, who owns this competition, who are very good club. I don't think we're giving Sevilla enough credit. I really don't. I don't know with Rob. I think I hear you, Rob, a little bit about that Sevilla's priority were different, but I just don't imagine that they said, Europa League, the competition that we love and we've won so many times that we don't care about. I think there was an opening. I think they were on the way out, that's for sure. And United gave them an opening. And I would look still into the first game, not so much in the second game in terms of what happened to Manchester United.
Look, in that first game, Janusz, United could have been 4-5 up. And Rob's right with regards to the team selection. He basically said, Mendelebar, with his team selection and the changes that he made, that it wasn't a priority. They found themselves somehow still kind of in a game. 83 minutes gone, they're 2-0 down. And then suddenly it's 2-2. Then the focus completely shifts. So it's United's fault. It's United's fault that they are out, because they should have taken their chances in the first leg, and there wouldn't have been an issue. Rob could have had the cigars out, put the feet up, and just had the smoking jacket on. Instead, he's got to work.
I think that was our opening line. It's the first game. That was our opening line, right? I think we're all in agreement on this.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob, one priority for United. Let's end this. Let's wrap it up. Get you home, get you to the press conference, first of all. Is that priority a striker? Is it Harry Kane? Or, having seen David De Gea tonight, are they now thinking, not only do we need a striker for next season, but we need a goalkeeper as well?
Yeah, and I think the priority from United's point of view, they will certainly say that it's a top-class striker, whether that's Harry Kane or someone else. I think the very fact that you're asking that question shows where United are at as a team, that this is still very much a work in progress, that you could look at different areas of the team and say, well, United need someone here, they need someone there. They certainly need a striker. They probably need a right back. They probably need another midfielder, whether that's Jude Bellingham or Frenkie de Jong or someone else. The goalkeeper is an interesting one, because I think that if Erik ten Hag had unlimited money when he first came in, he perhaps would have changed the goalkeeper last summer in his first summer in charge. But I think he looked at the squad that he inherited and thought that there are bigger issues that he had to solve first. He had to solve the issue at centre half. He signed Lisandro Martinez. He needed a midfielder. He went in and signed Casemiro. He wanted a winger and signed Anthony. I think he thought that he could probably get away with having David De Gea as his goalkeeper for another season. And, for large parts of the season, De Gea has been okay. He's made some great saves. The issue is, and the conversation has always been, can David De Gea play in the way that Erik ten Hag wants him to, with the ball at his feet and picking these passes to his defenders to get United playing out of the back. Now, Erik ten Hag has said repeatedly that he thinks David can do it. David has said to us that he thinks he can do it. But then you have instances like the start of the season, the Brentford game right back in August, and tonight, his role in that goal with Harry Maguire, that his detractors will say shows that he cannot do that. And you need to sign a goalkeeper who's very, very comfortable with the ball at his feet. Like a goalkeeper like Ederson at City or Alisson at Liverpool. Again, the fact that we're having this conversation shows that this is not a quick fix for Erik ten Hag. It may be the case that he has to go through another season with David De Gea as his goalkeeper. It's likely that he'll sign a new contract and stay for a little while, and it's something that they have to address further down the line. I imagine, though, that when Erik ten Hag looks at the tape of this game, there will be thoughts in his head thinking, well, I just cannot carry on with David. I need someone else to be able to play the football I want to play. But unfortunately, Man United at the moment, there isn't unlimited money, and we'll have to prioritise.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.